Good morning.
It is my distinct honor and pleasure to kick us off this morning and introduce Joyce Nutta from the University of Central Florida, who works in TESOL and world languages on teaching teachers and teacher candidates how to make appropriate accommodations for English learners in the classroom. And very excited to have her with us. Please join me in welcoming Joyce Nutta.
First of all, today, like Matt said, we're going to be working with accommodations for English learners primarily today we're going to work on teaching academic subjects, integrating literacy into that, but the focus will be on science and social studies instruction and ways to make that instruction accessible to English learners at different levels. To get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my story. And I have an interesting story, I think, related to teaching second language learners. Because when I was 13 years old, my parents and I moved from Central Florida. I was born and raised in St. Petersburg in the Tampa Bay area. So we moved to a very remote alpine village in the Dolomites of Italy. And in through that door walked a spitfire of a woman. She came up to about here on me, but she scared the living daylights out of me and everyone else. Her name was Signora Oliva, and Signora Oliva was famous in the town for being a very strict teacher. When she taught, she did something that was called not questioning, but interrogation. She started with a book, and it sounded something like this. Quel ramo del lago di Como che si svolge a mezzogiorno tra due catene non interrotte di montagne. To me, a non-speaker of the language, that sounded like vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, consonant. I couldn't make out the boundaries of any words, let alone phrases or sentences. It was basically noise, but everybody else was writing down feverishly because this was dictation. This was an assessment of the students on the first day. So at the end of that year, my parents decided that this little adventure should probably come to an end. That, of course, we had gained a lot of things from it, but we moved back to Florida. At that time, there were a lot of Southeast Asian refugees that were coming after the Vietnam War into our area, and in my high school in particular. So I would sit next to them in class because they were learning English, they were learning about the culture, and they had an even greater struggle than I had because they came just with what they could carry. And this led me to deciding, well, maybe being a teacher is what I'm meant to do. So with your agreement, I have here a magic knife. And my magic knife, by the time I get to the middle of the room, si parla solo italiano. Solo italiano, niente inglese, solo italiano. Ho un coltello, un'arancia, un pompelmo, una limetta, un limone, un mandarino, Ho anche un bicchiere. Un bicchiere. Questo bicchiere è rosso di colore, come questo, rosso, un bicchiere rosso. Questo bicchiere è anche rosso, questo bicchiere è grande, come Starbucks, grande. Questo bicchiere è più piccolo, bicchiere rosso grande, bicchiere rosso piccolo. Ho un bicchiere azzurro, un bicchiere giallo, un bicchiere viola. Oggi vi faccio vedere come fare il succo d'arancia. Per fare il succo d'arancia bisogna fare 4 cose. Numero 1. Taglia l'arancia. Taglia l'arancia. Numero 2. Spremi l'arancia. Spremi l'arancia. Numero 3. Versa il succo d'arancia nel bicchiere. Versa il succo d'arancia nel bicchiere. Numero 4. Bevi il succo d'arancia. Bevi il succo d'arancia. Adesso vi faccio vedere ancora una volta come fare il succo d'arancia. Numero 1. Taglia l'arancia. Taglia l'arancia. Numero 2. Spremi l'arancia. Spremi l'arancia. 3. Versa il succo d'arancia nel bicchiere. Versa il succo d'arancia nel bicchiere. Numero 4. Bevi il succo d'arancia. Bevi il succo d'arancia. Adesso vorrei chiamare qua qualcuno che mi aiuta a fare il succo d'arancia. Chi viene? Fernanda, grazie. Fernanda, taglia l'arancia. Bravissima. Spremi l'arancia. Molto brava. Che forte, muscoli. Versa il succo d'arancia nel bicchiere rosso piccolo, quello più piccolo, sì. Bravissima. Bevi il succo d'arancia. Un applauso per Fernanda. Grazie, grazie. And we are back into English. Classroom teachers who have gotten a list of things to do to help English learners, like use a lot of visuals. But you have to work the visuals. You have to make sure you're making a very clear connection so that the word and the object become associated. If you don't, it's not helping. I mean, it may help them to kind of see what the whole thing is about, but they're not going to learn the language, and they're not going to get those details that are really important.
Best practices for culturally responsive teaching, or and for me, the first element of culturally responsive teaching for English learners is that it's comprehensible, the instruction. So that's an issue, and then we can get to the other parts. I heard you talking about some cultural background knowledge that they may or may not have too, which is good. So if we look here at this lesson, let's see here. The tread verbs should look something like that. Should have something that looks like that. So review. Again, you have to kind of ask yourself, if it doesn't say they're going to review with cue cards, they're going to match up pictures and text, and then if it says review, only thing I can assume is that it's going to be talk, right? And so I need to know more about what kind of support is provided there for the English learners. Even like giving directions, tell them they're going to analyze. Well, that may not be the end of the world, that in the directions they don't quite understand yet what's going to happen. You may be able to swing back and pick that up, but even in the directions itself, it'd be good. Hold up the photo, and you saw the photo in there, but I'll talk to you about how they're going to go about analyzing it. Hold up the photo. You are going to analyze this photo. So the actual steps, they're going to analyze the photograph, and we have to think about, well, what does that mean? Because students should record their reactions to the photographs using the primary source analyzing tool. So I'll show you that. But what could record mean, just looking at it cold? Probably writing. A lot of the time it's writing. Yeah, I don't know that they mean audio recording. Even that is verbal. But maybe recording by drawing, but it's unlikely unless it's stated. Conduct a discussion or a survey, very verbal. Talk about questions. These might be issues that came up, so that's discussing questions, and then they write in their journal. Could be made more English learner friendly by providing support. The lesson, even though it was based on a photograph, which you might say, oh, that's a visual. That would be good for English learner. Actually, what they do with the photograph is discuss, write,